lap at this point in time is a 1 minute 43.2. Nice job.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Bottas, Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? As ever, the threat of unreliability is never far away, and indeed they'll be starting out of position today due to a power unit component change. So it's going to be a difficult task to move forward from there.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Valtteri Bottas lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Hamilton, Perez, Red and Vettel, Russell, Fiat, Gasly and Alexander Albon, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Lucas Faber, they've taken a grid penalty, and Butler, Sainz, Magnussen, Max Verstappen and Lando Norris. Stroll and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Exit. Exit now. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Car is out. We need to form up at a reduced pace. Keep a close eye on that delta time. Make sure to keep it positive. Drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we... The track is clear. Green flag. Seconds. They're on fresh mediums. They're in 11th. The time last lap was a 1 minute 49.2. Is ahead of you. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 9 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 47.4. You're closing by 0.4 per lap. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. Nice work, you did well today. I think the boss will be happy with that one.
So Mercedes have won it, and what a great race it was. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Some amazing talents out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Often my go-to would be a driver who's managed to pull off an especially impressive feat during the race. However, in this instance, I was more impressed by Max Verstappen's solid, clean driving throughout the event.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Listen up, everyone. They've announced that the technical regulations are changing for next season. Now, there's a risk a lot of our hard work could be undone if we're not careful. So let's figure out how to mitigate this. Drivers, take a look at the developments we have and let us know what you want to invest in protecting. All right, everyone, let's get on top of this.
Good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Red, Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. Chicane. Anthony Davidson joins me again for the race today. Let me ask you about the new Racing Point driver. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Red lines up on pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Bottas, Verstappen, Charles Leclerc and Faber, Perez, Vettel, Russell and Carlos Sainz, Gasly, Kvyat, Lando Norris and Magnussen, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Alexander Albon and Devon Butler. Stroll and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
teammate by 15.0 seconds. Okay, we've got plenty of energy. Switched. Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Complete. Go now. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. We've pretty much burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. Full course caution. The safety car is out. Keep an eye on... Okay, let's get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the green flags. Safety car in this lap. Okay, clear. Our gap behind is 1.6 seconds.
This has been manipulated, man.
Great work. That's a new fastest lap for the... Weber behind. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 7 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 22.1. Gap to teammate behind is 7.6 seconds. fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
McLaren have pulled it off. They've won in spectacular fashion here today. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
As the winners make their way up to the podium, one can only imagine the celebrations that will take place at McLaren tonight. Congratulations to everyone on the team, securing the win and proving they're a force to be reckoned with out on the track. Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. Not the result our points leader wanted, but it certainly makes things interesting going forward. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Kimi Raikkonen's my standout today. Nothing you could construe as showboating, just an incredibly consistent performance out on track.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
Things are looking up after last week, aren't they?
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
Well, thanks anyway.